Hi there, Sue Hawks here with your 2-minute tidbit today, and it is to stop and breathe. When life throws you a challenge, and let's face it, we've had a ton of them this past 19, 20 months, it's important to be balanced internally so you have the emotional equilibrium to handle it. When you catch yourself reacting, stop. Stop long enough to catch yourself and breathe. One deep breath can give you enough space to check in on that challenge and see if we're reacting and whether or not we can be creative yet. Because when we're reactive, oftentimes we're depleting ourselves rather than starting to become resourceful and figure out how to solve all that's going on for us. Sometimes the reasons for our reactions don't really make sense. There isn't really any basis or fact behind them. These self-defeated habits happen when we stay stuck on negative thought patterns long after their validity is worn off, sometimes even before. The key is to pause long enough to think about your thinking, which sounds a little strange, but determine what actions you take would be forwarding and what would be head trash, the stuff that between your ears is getting in your way and slowing you down along the way. Once you've identified a more forwarding path, you'll be able to move forward with more grace. Now, that all sounds easy, doesn't it? When I'm in the middle of a reaction, the last thing I do is take a breath and get some perspective, which is exactly what I need the most. So it's one of the best practices I've had over time. And in fact, I learned this while I was literally hiking a mountain and my exercise-induced asthma kicked in, and I could only go forward if I would stop and breathe. It became a literal metaphor, but it became a much bigger life lesson when I re-emerged from this 5-peak hike where I was very physically challenged and wasn't used to that. More on that in Chasing Perfection in the book if you want to learn more. But this practice, it's great, but you're a busy leader. You need to learn to slow down, but how? You don't have time. You feel like you don't have time. I get it. We have a Smart Start workshop. They are 2-hour long bite-sized chunks to help you refresh, renew, re-energize. Because why? Because you need it. You deserve it. You're worth it. And making 2 hours to examine your own thinking creates enough space to get you moving that next leg of the journey. And sometimes it feels like 20 feet at a time. So it's not just another business class. It's actually an experience, highly interactive experience that helps you find clarity, focus, and direction so that when the challenges come, you actually have new practices and insight to pause and reframe and be creative and thoughtful about what your next move should be. There's still time to register for our complimentary Smart Start workshop on November 4th. Grab your spot. You can sign up at the link below and make today great. Stop, breathe, and be grateful for what you got.